programs shown by Judge Judy transformed the way courts functioned. Then, Judge Judy herself disappeared after 25 years of dominating courtroom shows. Nevertheless, Judge Judy remained on the bench. With a fresh start, she started over. You won't believe her current position or the things she has accomplished. Judy Sheindlin, the future famous judge from Judge Judy, made an observation in February 1993. In her naivete, she failed to realize the profound impact that observation would have on her life. Judy was a New York State bar exam pass out in 1965. Without hesitation, she dove headfirst into the business world, landing a job as a cosmetics firm's corporate lawyer. Nevertheless, an issue arose. After 2 years, she came to the realization that the job wasn't fulfilling her. So she stepped down from her position to focus entirely on her children, Jamie and Adam. Then in 1972, she made the decision to return to work. But this time she was determined to find a job that would bring her joy rather than misery. She decided to apply for a position as a prosecutor in the New York family court system after hearing about it from a friend. Judy was employed because she was deemed impressive. In 1982, New York Mayor Ed Code appointed Judy as a criminal court judge due to her resolute demeanor and rapid rise to fame. She was promoted to the position of supervising judge in the Manhattan Division of the Family Court by 1986. Critics said Judy's brand of justice was severe and unforgiving, but Judy would have none of it. Still, Heidi Gatlin begged her husband, Josh, to write about her because of her fame, which was largely due to her style. In a piece about Judy, Josh, a writer for the Los Angeles Times, portrayed her as a woman hell-bent on reforming the justice system so that it serves the public interest. After reading that piece, Judy was able to attract the notice of Rebel Entertainment talent managers Kay Switzer and Sandy Sprechman. Judy was introduced to CBS by them, and CBS later featured her on 60 Minutes. Judy became an overnight phenomenon across the country as the audience adored her on the show. Judy chose to capitalize on her sudden fame after she saw how popular she had become. A 1996 book titled "Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining" was her result. With a record of having heard over 20,000 cases, Judy retired as a family court judge. Judy had a cause for her resignation, but nobody knew that. The viewers of CBS's 60 Minutes were captivated by her performance and wanted more. An idea for a show similar to the People's Court was developed by Rebel Entertainment and their team, who then presented it to CBS. Everyone was on board with the concept, so they asked Judy to serve as the show's namesake judge. Although she was unimpressed by the performance, she consented. There was no spark between her and her bailiff. Who else could she have wanted? After Judy's memory jogged, she reached for her phone. After reading a glowing review of Judy's book in a 1995 news piece, Hawkins Byrd couldn't get enough. He then proceeded to write her a letter in which he offered to don his bailiff costume again should she ever want his services. Even before she finished speaking, he had already decided his response when his phone rang. With that, Judge Judy came into the world, and television court programs were never the same. Byrd and Judy had tremendous chemistry. He was the cold-hearted bailiff who had no personal stake in the outcome. He was a calm authority figure who the spectators adored and who kept the peace when the litigants threatened to get aggressive. His legion of devoted followers could hardly wait for him to pronounce "Order, all rise" before the opening of each new case. With chemistry like that, Judge Judy wasn't only the most watched court show of all time, it was among the most watched programs of all time. The way things went downhill for Bert and Judy is unfortunate, but we'll address that in due course. On a daily basis, Judge Judy would often draw 9-10 million viewers. There were other occasions when it even outrated Oprah Winfrey's show. The show had the highest ratings of any daytime TV program at one point. Why did it suddenly become the most watched program? That will be addressed shortly. The show's popularity skyrocketed, and eventually, the American people put more faith in Judge Judy than in the entire Supreme Court. But the viewers didn't view Judy as your average judge. They considered her to be among the most influential people in the history of popular culture. Any show that was trying to draw in viewers would mention Judge Judy. Still, the show failed to win any daytime Emmys, despite the show's widespread acclaim. Ignoring this, Judy continued to get accolades and recognition from all corners. The Hollywood Walk of Fame bestowed a star upon Judy in February 2006, and in October 2012, she was inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. Even after receiving an award from the UCD Law Society's vice president in April 2013, Judy remained dissatisfied. A trophy for her show would mean the world to her. Even though she was frightened, she managed to persuade herself that the award-winning shows had already ended or been cancelled. But there was no end in sight for Judy as she continued to draw a huge audience even after losing. Nevertheless, a significant event occurred in that very year, 2013, when Judge Judy won its first Emmy after 15 nominations. It was the beginning of a deluge of accolades for the program. Both 2016 and 2017 saw it take home more Emmys. In 2014, at the Heroes of Hollywood ceremony, Judy received the Mary Pickford Award from the Hollywood Chamber Community Foundation. She continued to get accolades on her own. However, if you were to ask Judy, her most notable achievement may have been the Guinness World Record she received on September 14, 2015 for having the longest running courtroom show and for being the longest serving judge or arbiter in the history of courtroom themed television. Judge Judy was making a tidy sum from the program even before she won any accolades. Her large profits were reported in the media. As a result, her net worth increased to $95 million, 0 cents in early 2005. Her salary was approximately $25 million, 0 cents, and she was ranked 13th among the 20 wealthiest women in entertainment by Forbes. Not everyone was happy about her fortune, but some thought it was unjust that she made so much money, while judges who oversaw the day-to-day operations of the court were paid far less. There was more criticism leveled against Judge Judy, but we will get to that in a while. Judy was tired despite her money, but she loved performing, and the spell she cast on her audience, she found even greater fulfillment in her work after the studio chose to raise her income to $45 million, 0 cents annually. Nonetheless, this rise was not without its peculiarities. Despite this, the show's popularity remained high, and viewers adored Judy because she portrayed a justice system they would like to see in real life. The crowd wanted cases resolved quickly, without bureaucratic red tape, attorney meddling, or drawn-out appeals. Her extensive background in family court given her the nickname Human Lie Detector by her devoted fanbase who praised her brilliance. Hence, Judy, in their eyes, was a true champion of justice, since she dealt a crushing blow to those responsible for wrongdoing. But it wasn't the case for everyone. Many viewers of the original Judge Judy shows praised her for being patient and fair, but there were others who thought she wasn't quite up to par. They have gone as far as to ask whether she could face disbarment. She was accused of demonstrating prejudice against specific demographics, interjecting with plaintiffs, and prejudging cases. These naysayers claim that Judy becomes rude and indifferent whenever she is in the company of low income or those relying on governmental help. What many people were unaware of, though, was that Judge Judy had an issue. The judge's formerly boundless patience for petitioners gradually dwindled as the years passed. Because everyone involved was making money off of the show, Judy didn't take enough breaks. She could not have possibly taken a break at all. Litigants were paid to appear on the show. The amount they could earn ranged from $100, 0 cents, to $500, 0 cents, with the maximum amount depending on variables, including the amount of time they spent in front of the screen. Around $250, 0 cents was even awarded to certain litigants after receiving free or almost free housing in Hollywood and having all of their filming expenses covered by the show. They are now being asked to pay this amount. The show nevertheless takes care of the defendant's financial obligations even when Judge Judy rules that they are exempt from paying certain costs. Allegedly, a large number of litigants participate on the show by inventing disputes in order to earn money. This is why some have said that Judge Judy is more interested in drama than reality. Judy considered retiring in 2010 due to the overwhelming number of lawsuits she was facing, but she was unable to do so because her contract was set to end in 2014. Something horrible occurred long before her contract expired, but she did say she would quit then. Everything seemed regular when Judy arrived on set on March 30, 2011, except for the fact that she was completely worn out. Judy continued with her day as usual, seemingly unremarkable. However, it was anything but. Judy listened to the parties as the bailiff called a case, but the camera cut to black as the proceedings began. Judy passed out. She was taken to the hospital in a flash. She had a mini stroke, the doctors discovered after testing her. Judy persisted, though. What happened instead was that she was named the most paid TV star that year after receiving a salary raise, an extension on her contract, and general contract perks. Her success was so overwhelming that she was even granted a spin-off in 2014, which she named Hot Bench. She had no idea that this spin-off would cause her so much trouble. In 2017, Judy extended her contract until 2021 so she could keep dispensing her brand of justice. Our next report will detail the additional issues that arose as a result of her contract extension, which increased her pre-tax earnings to $147 million, 0 cents. After receiving her pay raise, Judy put retirement plans on pause, saying she would only resign if her show lost viewers. Even though she had an idea, she was still full of energy and enjoyed her job. But before she made the announcement, she started planning how to make her concept a reality. Although she was developing the idea, Judy kept her Judge Judy persona and made the announcement that her legion of admirers had been waiting for in March 2020. She made the announcement that the show will be ending on the anniversary of its 25th season while appearing on Ellen DeGeneres' show. Unfortunately, she didn't get The send-off she had hoped for during her final days on the show. A multi-million-dollar lawsuit was filed against CBS Television Distribution in 2016 by Rebel Entertainment Partners, Inc. and its president, Richard Lawrence. The fact that their former workers, Sandy Sprackman and Kay Schweitzer, had brought Judy to CBS just added fuel to the fire, as he and his firm claimed that CBS was out to steal their show's profits. According to Rebel, CBS was unable to pay them because Judy was paid too much. They went so far as to say the show wasn't making nearly as much money as CBS was claiming. The woman who brought justice to others was accused of unfairly stealing it from those who assisted her, and Judy became entangled in this web of legal actions. In order to avoid splitting the earnings with Rebel claimed that Judy and CBS withheld information about other spin-offs from her. Judy wasn't prepared to be walked over after years of being a strong lawyer and an even tougher justice. The accusations were denied by her. Richard, she said, was too hungry to be satisfied with the more than $17 million, 0 cents she made from her show. She went so far as to call him selfish for not contacting her or asking for anything after they met before the show started. She justified CBS's compensation by saying it was commensurate with the value she provided to the company. Did she actually contribute that much to CBS? Judy was not overpaid, the court ruled, in 2018, and CBS lost out on her valuable contribution. But Judy wasn't entirely exempt either. The judge ruled that she and CBS were responsible for informing about any potential spin-off, like the Judge Judy program. There were plenty of unexpected turns left to come, so if you believe the drama had ended, you'd be wrong. The verdict left Rebel Entertainment and Richard unsatisfied. The legal drama became too much for CBS, so they decided not to appeal. For years, they had aired courtroom dramas involving other people. Now, they just wanted to wrap up their own show. Consequently, they reached out to Rebel Entertainment in 2020 and struck an agreement with them. Rebel was certain they had CBS under their control and advocated for yet another legal action. Once again, they became defendants alongside Judy, but this time she had had enough. Not only did she not want to negotiate with Rebel, but she also countersued them for $22 million, 0 cents, claiming unethical business tactics. The conflict had begun, but Judy encountered a problem. If she wished to have a case, the court requested that she also file a countersuit against CBS. Judgment was looming over Judy. She had a choice: be loyal to CBS or pursue her financial goals. She lost her case because she chose loyalty. Nothing bothered her. After reviewing the case, the California Court of Appeal concurred with the trial court that CBS had not violated Rebel's contract. The court found that CBS had fulfilled its contractual obligation to pay Rebel the agreed upon amount in accordance with the terms of their agreement. It turned out, though, that Judy had been actively seeking a 3-year contract increase all along. She desired more work, even if she felt overwhelmed at times. At last she could revel in her triumph, but it was short-lived. Another case arose that she had to fight, and this time once friendly individuals become adversaries. A lawsuit was filed against Judy, CBS Corporation, CBS Studios, and Big Ticket Television by Jay Robinson, trustee of Sandy Sprackman, and Kay Schweitzer. They asserted a right to royalties for the discovery of Judy by his former Rebel Entertainment employees. They claimed that CBS would not have had Judge Judy if not for the finding and subsequent introduction. Judy was unconcerned because this was just another case that the two would submit. The situation was indeed as inconsequential as she had said. In 2021, the court rejected it because it lacked merit. Judy was involved in more than just those litigation. Randy Duttich's wife, Patrice Jones, filed a lawsuit against Judge Judy in March 2013 in her capacity as executive producer. And Judy, she said, had conspired with her husband to purchase pricey silverware and fine china that she herself possessed. The situation was getting out of hand, so Judy handed Randy Dutich the silverware and he gave them to Judy again. There were a few additional lawsuits in which Judy was named, the most notable of which was in March 2014. John Haymond, an attorney, posed as Judge Judy for a few advertisements. A show producer saw and quickly notified a lawyer that utilizing Judy's image was not permissible. However, the lawyer ignored the producer's warning and continued to distribute additional ads. This made Judy unhappy, so she took legal action. She claimed that Judge Judy had been deceived into thinking that her endorser, Amond, and his law company had her consent to use her image in television commercials. On the other hand, Amond was refusing to budge. Additionally, he asserted in his countersuit that Judy had slandered him and his business. He claims he unquestioningly agreed to appear in commercials for Judge Judy's show after being approached by local TV stations. However, Heyman realized he was going down in defeat and approached Judy about a bargain. Because no one bought his story, Judy dropped the case and he gave to her charity. Heyman apparently forgot how tough Judy was. Her current success is a direct result of her resilience. Judy wasn't planning to retire even after Judge Judy ceased airing. How would she spend that much time? Instead of retiring to spend time with her elder grandchildren, she decided to do something creative with them. Judy had a strategy before Judge Judy's program ended. Her goal in developing this new Courtroom series was to make it accessible to viewers of all ages, drawing inspiration from Judge Judy, but also appealing to a younger demographic. She came up with Judy Justice. She decided to enlist her granddaughter's help because she wanted someone younger for the job, but she opted out of the new show with Bailiff Byrd in an effort to attract a younger demographic. That she was unable to pay his salary was something she conveyed to Byrd. Judy should have sought Byrd, a long-term presence, for his opinion before making the choice. Thus, this came as a surprise to him. Despite her pain, Byrd knew she had to let go and go on, unless the fans rejected it. Judy would likely do something similar to Byrd before. She avoided him like the plague whenever the show wasn't airing and never once treated him like a friend. The show earned its first Emmy, which was fine with Byrd. His heart sank. Not even on the same row did he and Judy sit. His seat was 20 rows behind his, plus Judy delegated the task of presenting the trophy to someone else to give her the honor. Her devoted fan base took note, and they were not about to let her get away with another display of such rudeness. Fans were quick to condemn Judy for her actions when the new show Judy Justice premiered and they saw that the beloved actor wasn't playing the role of bailiff. Then the true rationale became apparent. For the sake of appealing to a younger demographic, Judy passed on inviting Byrd to appear on her new show. She almost lost her loyal following when she did it. Judy swiftly returned Byrd, but this time with a twist. After realizing her error, She even extended an offer for him to play the bailiff in Tribunal Justice, a spin-off series. So what has happened to Judge Judy? Judy Justice has emerged, and she is even more powerful than before.